The previous session covered strategies for increasing participation of all students during passage reading. In Session 10, you will watch Dr. Archer teach a sample lesson to third grade students. Dr. Archer models many of the active participation strategies that were introduced in the previous 9 sessions, with a special focus on the different ways that you might have students read passages in your class. Use this session to summarize the information you have learned about active participation. Identify both good practices and what could be done to improve the lesson. Consider how you can apply these same strategies in your teaching.
We're going to watch a little video I did, and of each was just a short little video just to model some of these practices. But here's what we are going to do. We're going to look at what was a good practice and suggested improvements. Because even though I've taught this to you, I looked at this and I said, oh, Archer, there's some definite improvements you could make. So you're going to record good practices as well as suggested improvements. So this was a Tier 2 intervention group, and we were reading in 3rd grade, though the material is a little bit lower than that. And so good practice and missed opportunities. Before we read the story, let's go over the big words. And first word, everyone, turnips. Next word is crooks. Next word is case. Next word is nibbling. And next word is catnap. I'm going to tell you about a word. As soon as you know the word, put your thumb up to show me you have it. I'm thinking of a word that is a vegetable. Nice and low. Low like this shows me you have it. Not in the air, low like this. Whisper to your partner what word I'm thinking of. And that word is what, everyone? Turnips. Good. I'm thinking of a word that is another word for chewing. Whisper to your partner what the word is. Yes. And the word is what, everyone? Nibbling. I'm thinking of a word that means a detective might investigate this. Put your thumb up when you know it, but don't say it. Whisper to your partner what the word is. And the word is what, everyone? Case. I'm thinking of a word that means just a little short nap. Oh, we all know it. What is it, everyone? Cat nap. Ooh, I need everybody. It's a what? Cat nap. Okay, now I'm going to stop it, and we're going to look at these two aspects as we go through this. So here, I'm just pre-teaching them the words, okay? Now, there were some good practices and some missed opportunities. So, as you are writing, also discuss this with your partner, what you would perceive, just in that little bit, what was a good practice, what was a missed opportunity, sharing it with your partner, and go. Okay, so looking up here, so let's just think about this for a moment. First of all, would it be useful for me to ensure that they could read the words before we read the passage, yes or no? Yes. So there was a big idea, and I selected the difficult words. But I said to myself, ooh, be sure you give them enough thinking time. Because I said, what word, and I'm not certain that they would all be able to do it that quickly. I probably should have said, pointed the word and said, sound this out, put your thumb up when you know it, and then had them say it. So you got to watch that thinking time. I need to watch that thinking time. And then it was useful that I went over the meanings. And so I'm thinking of a word, tell me the word. But if I really wanted to be able to hold them all accountable and monitor, I could have easily numbered those words and said, I'm thinking of a word that means chewing. Think of what word it is, what's the number, form it on your table now, show me. Because would they have felt just a little more accountable, yes or no, everyone? Yes, okay? So you did a good job finding, and so that's what we're going to do in segments. We're going to look for good practices and any improvements. All right, so, all right, everybody turn back to the cover. Now, you are going to read this story first by yourself, then we're going to read it together. And as you read it to yourself, we are going to be asking ourselves some questions. So turn to the lap right in the front. Find this where it says strategy focus, and listen as I read it. As you read this story, stop once in a while to evaluate how the author shows that RoboCat is a fantasy, a make-believe cat. Oh, so I have to evaluate. I have to think of ways that the author did this and think if those were good ways or not good ways. I have to evaluate it. All right, now, as you're reading, if I come to you and I put my hand on your back, you are going to whisper read to me until I lift my hand. So whisper reading sounds like this. It was a beautiful, my turn. It was a beautiful summer day, but something didn't feel right. Just loud enough so we could hear, but not interrupt the whole word. This would not be whisper reading. It was a beautiful summer day. Would that interrupt other people? Yes or no, everyone? Yes, okay? So if I come to you, you're going to whisper read to me. Now, if you get to the end of the story before I've said stop, go back and read it again. So totally silent, everybody reading, and when I come to you, whisper read to me. Go. So I don't hear anyone.
Watching, Pat smiled. We can't wait until you take a cat nap, he said. Excellent. What do you know?
Excellent. Okay, stopping there. So that was that augmented silent reading, and I want you to think of what was good practice and any missed opportunities that I could improve on. Okay, and so talking it over with your partner, start with what was good and what were missed opportunities, and go. Okay, thank you very much. So I had less improvements that I talked to myself about on this one. When I said find the questions in the front, find it on the flap of the front cover, I didn't just do it verbally. I held up the book and pointed to it. Is it possible that more kids actually found it by me modeling and pointing to it? Yes or no, everyone? Yes, okay? And then I didn't just say read it silently. I taught them the routine. That's what you concluded over here is I modeled it, that they are going to whisper read. Now I will tell you, I probably need to back up and teach them how to whisper because some of them obviously didn't know. And so how would you teach kids to whisper? Everybody put your hand on your throat and say, good day, everybody, good day. Now say it without any vibration. That's how you teach them to whisper. And so I could have worked on that a little bit more. But I told them a question that they were going to think about, and I said, well, so I asked myself, oh, what do you have to do? I have to. And so I did thinking out loud. And that's one of the things that we want to do as teachers is not just show them what's overt, but what is covert we want to make overt by doing thinking out loud. And so when they were reading, I moved around the room, I listened to them silently read, and I'm even writing down data. There's a list of their names and the passage. If they read it accurately and fluently, I gave them a 2. If they read it accurately but not fluently, I read it slowly, I gave them a 1, and if they were neither accurate or fluent, I wrote a 0. The reason is I could constantly be monitoring the progress of the students. And if I look down and a student has 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, ooh, I should be getting that child into Tier 2 or Tier 3 intervention. If it says 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, then I say, ooh, all right. They're probably doing all right in the materials. Particularly because this was an intervention group, a Tier 2 group. Do I really want to monitor them closely? Yes or no, everyone? Yes. So that segment was pretty good in terms of using the procedures that we talked about. All right, well, let's see. How about the next one? Same thing, good practices and missed opportunities. So first page. And we are going to read this together. And when we read it together, your job is to keep your voice with mine. Put your finger under the first word. Excellent. And I'm waiting for everybody to have their book open. Check your partner. See if they're looking at the first page. You have their finger under the right word. Excellent. And begin, everyone. It was a beautiful summer day, but something didn't feel right. RoboCat could smell crime in the air. So everybody, pretend you're like RoboCat and smelling. Say, could you actually smell crime? Yes or no? No. So this is one of the way the author is making it. So I know it's make-believe fantasy. Turning over to your next page. And put your finger on the first word. And everybody reading it with me. RoboCat looked between the rows of vegetables. He looked all around the garden. Stopping there, not everybody is on the right place. So you know what we have to do? I'm so sorry, we're going to have to read that page again. So go back and put your finger under the first word and reading it with me, everyone. RoboCat looked between the rows of vegetables. He looked all around the garden. Continue. Then he said, someone's been tasting the turnips. Someone's been crunching the carrots. This looks like a job for RoboCat. All right, turning your page. This time I'm going to read. When I stop, say the next word. We just did choral reading, and there were some good practices and some definite Archer improvement needs. So I want you again to share with your partner what you first thought were good practices and need for improvement, and go. Okay, so fall silent. You immediately got the improvement needed, but good practices. First, I told them that you have to keep your voice with mine, a pre-correction. Then I had him put the finger on the right word because is it possible in this group that a few kids could be off task? Yes or no, everyone? Yes, so I wanted to be certain they were in the right place. And then I even had them check their partner when I noticed a number of them weren't in the right place. But exactly what you said, and you said, oh, I read it too fast, right? That is my New York phonetic reading. And so if I read it too fast, is it possible not all the children can keep up with me, yes or no? Now, I was leaning in and listening to them read. So at one point, I did adjust it, but it was too fast. Now, I don't want to read it really slow either because they lose the gist. And then when some students weren't reading, we did a gentle redo. Not everybody's with us, so we did it again. It was the absolute appropriate response to someone not doing it on task. All right, so the last thing we're going to look at is partner reading. Close reading, I'm sorry, close reading. That night, RoboCat, my turn. When I stop, say the next word. That night, RoboCat hid in a tree by the garden. He said, these don't have a chance. RoboCat watched the garden all night long. Well, almost all night long. Of course, we know what happened. He fell asleep. Now, I am changing the practices because we meant this for this purpose. You wouldn't change every 2 pages the procedure you're using. It was for your benefit. But if you listen to the voices of the children, did it appear that many more children were on task, yes or no? See, that actually proves the point of close reading. Significantly better than just calling on one student. They were right with me and they said the word. So I didn't have too many improvements that I suggested to myself there. But I might on the last practice, which is partners. And so be ready, because this one, there are some suggestions that you might want to make. Okay, turning your page. Now, this time, ones, here's your job. You're going to read these 2 pages to your partner and whisper when you do it. If you get to the word dirty before I say stop, then ones, read it one more time. Just these 2 pages and go. Right. Good. 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 Okay, looking up here. So he comes out, and in the garden he sees lots and lots of what, everyone? Holes. And he says, someone has been digging under the, what, everyone? The fence. But then the last line he said, someone's been playing dirty. Wow. I said, oh, I know what he means. If they went under the fence, they got into the what, everyone? The dirt. Thus, they would be playing dirty. Oh, turning your page. 2s, your turn. You're going to read these 2 pages to your partner. If you get to the word case before I say stop, go back and read it again. You're going to share with your partner good practices. As well as any missed opportunities. So sharing with your partner on partner reading, and begin. That would be good to give the other partner a directive. Excellent. Yeah. Oh, you know. Okay, well, we're done anyway. And you said? Yes. It might be, yes. I did. Okay, fall silent. As I watch this, first of all, I wrote down as a good practice that it was useful to have them read to a partner. And did I give them pretty clear directions about what they were to do, yes or no? Okay, and then after I gave them directions that they were going to read it, if they got done before I said stop, go back and read it again to their partner. And one missed opportunity you suggested is that I probably should have given directive to the listener that they needed to touch and follow along. Now, this class has used a lot of partner reading before, but you saw the one little boy who wasn't paying attention. You know, to be honest, you can't control the behavior of every child in the classroom. Is that going to happen even under the best of circumstances? Yes or no, everyone? Yes, absolutely. So you do your very best, and there's always the human potential to do better. But he's just sort of there. But I did move around the room, and I am monitoring. And I'm monitoring not just for the accuracy of their reading, I was monitoring for, are they finishing up? Because part of monitoring is monitoring our use of time so we can decide to go on or not. So many of them had started rereading it. I saw that, and we moved on. Now, here's the thing that I said to myself, oh, Archer, watch this. So there was a sentence at the end of the first segment that we read, and instead of having them interpret it, which would have been a perfect option, what did they mean? Someone is playing dirty, and think about it, and tell your partner, and then call on students. Ooh, that would have been perfect. Anything that students could do, we should shift that responsibility. We shouldn't be doing it. That would make an improvement. So, raise your hand if you think that we've covered quite a bit today. Yes. But here's the last thing I would like you to do. I would like you just to take about 2 minutes to go through your handout, and on a piece of paper, which you have abundant paper, I want you to write down 3 things that you say, yes, I intend to do this, and then number them. My first priority, second priority, third priority. So which of these procedures, there may be many of them that you have intention to use, but which ones do you say, yes, I'm going to do it right away, 1, 2, and 3. So total silence as you're reviewing your notes and writing that down.